How's it going, everyone? I am back with another video. This is going to be my Thursday Night Football Week 11 score prediction, where I'm going to go through the Thursday night game, which is the Jets at my beloved Patriots. Talk about how I think the game's going to go, give my score prediction, all that good stuff. So, like the past couple weeks for my score predictions videos, except for 2 weeks ago, I think, and maybe the first couple weeks at the start of the year, I'm going to just be talking about the Thursday night game in this video, and then as far as the rest of the games taking place in Week 11, hopefully sometime tomorrow or at the latest on Saturday, I'll release my full video for the rest of the games, my score predictions, talk about all that good stuff. But as far as the Thursday night game, again, Jets Patriots, of course, I'm going to pick my beloved Patriots to win. I think we're going to win comfortably. We're favored by 12 and a half. Now, I believe the line opened, I want to say it was 10 and a half, maybe it was 11 and a half, but it worked its way up to 11 and a half. If it started at 10 and a half, it went up to, as at least that I saw, 13 and a half. Now it's worked its way back down a point to 12 and a half. So, regardless, Vegas is pretty comfortable with the Patriots winning the game. They think we're going to win pretty comfortably, as we should. The Jets are obviously not a good team. Although they've won two in a row, it looks like they sold a lot of their stars at the deadline. They're playing their younger guys. They're building towards the future, obviously, because this year has been a disaster for the most part. I just don't really see much logic for picking the Jets. So I guess I'll say the very little logic that does suggest the Jets could win the game. I did mention they have won two in a row. Now, they did come off okay, so they won two in a row, but it was within a 3 week span because they had their bye in between. They beat Cincy, bye, and then obviously they just beat the Browns this past weekend. So the Jets have won two in a row. Their special teams look good. Their defense, you can say maybe the past couple games, not really the Cincy game, but it's started to play a bit better. So maybe you can argue that. And just in general, not even specific to the Jets, this season has been very unpredictable with upsets. We've seen some crazy ones. We just saw, as I talked about in my week 10 recap video, the Dolphins upset the Bills. No one saw that coming. There's been some crazy upsets. And Thursday night games are weird. Everyone was picking Denver like with very little hesitation last week against the Raiders, and the Raiders made it a game, and they nearly won. Denver won, but it was ugly. So yeah, there is some logic that suggests the Jets could win the game. If they do win, I don't know, maybe the special teams picks up where they left off against the Browns. Maybe the defense plays well, but I just think offensively they're going to have a rough game in this one. So transitioning over to the Patriots, of course, why I'm pretty confident we'll win the game. Just in general, as I mentioned, the Jets, even though they've won two in a row, are kind of on the decline. Which, by the way, as I talked about in my Week 10 recap video, I think the Jets certainly got some things to bounce their way against the Browns. So hopefully they got some lucky things out of the way right before they played us. So we're we're on a roll. Obviously, we've won 7 games in a row. We're a big talking point about the league. The Patriots seem like they're back. They're legit. Some people even talking about maybe the 1 seed Super Bowl. So yeah, obviously, just on paper, we're much better than the Jets. We're playing much better. We're at home Thursday night. Now, it is kind of a trap game on paper, you can say, but I don't think Mike Vrabel and the team are going to fall into the trap game situations this year. I think they're going to prepare for the Jets just as hard as it was, just as much as the Jets were undefeated, for example, or they prepared just as hard as if we're playing one of the elite teams in the league per se. For example, Vrabel talked about yesterday in his press conference that he wanted to cancel like a 20-25 minute meeting, something like that, with the team leaders, I think it was, to try to give them some time to just take a breath and relax and prep the short prep, obviously between Sunday and Thursday for the games. And the players said, "Thank you, Coach Vrabel, but we want the meeting. It's too important to not have it." So they had the meeting anyway. If Again, I don't mean to rip on Gerard Mayo as I've talked about in my past couple videos here, but if Mayo was the coach in this situation and he said that, the players probably would have been like, all right, thanks, coach, and just not have done the meeting, is my guess. So Vrabel, no disrespect to Mayo, but Vrabel, I don't think we're going to fall into the trap game scenario that this could be, at least on paper. We're just the better team. We're playing much better. We got all the momentum at home, prime time. I really have a hard time seeing the Jets winning this game. And then on top of that, offensively, we're rolling too. Again, the Jets defense have been playing a bit better, you can say, but honestly, not too much better in my eyes. At least the past two games, obviously the Bengals game, they played horrible. The two games before that against the Panthers and Denver, I think with Denver was the prior week. Off the top of my head, if I remember the international game, they played good in those games, but Cincy they played awful. The Browns they didn't play horrible, but Cleveland got a decent amount of offense in. And now they're running into this offense, which may, MVP talk, Drake May. The offense is rolling. The running back situation, injury wise, is something to be, I don't want to say concerned about, but it is potentially a bit concerning. It looks like obviously Henderson's good to go this game. Mike Vrabel said he's going to get a big load in the game tonight, so obviously that from the phrasing got memed around and joked around and such. But besides Henderson, Stevenson's out. I'm actually, let me see about Terrell Jennings. Let me look this up on my phone real quick. Um, but yeah, if Jennings is out, it's going to be running back news gets good game versus Jets. Um, let's see. Yep. Okay, Jennings is expected to be ready. I was going to say if Jennings isn't good to go, well, we may anyway, just promote Dearness Johnson from the practice squad, who, when Chubb went down a couple years ago, he was okay. He did solid with the Browns, all things considered. So the run game could be a bit concerning, on paper with the Stevenson injury, but it was fine with the Bucs last week, Henderson. So I talked about my recap video against Tampa, the Patriots recap video. Henderson went wild. Again, it was a bit misleading if you just look at his stat line because for the most part, he just kind of held in check. It was just mainly those two explosive runs he had. And then I think the only other run beyond 10 yards was a pitch out or a toss on 3rd and 10 that he got. He pitched out on 3rd and 10. I'm like, what the hell are we doing? And we ended up getting it. We ended up coming up short on that drive, had to punt anyway. But anyway, um, yeah, offense. I think our offense is a good game. I think the Jets. I think they could maybe hold us to a couple field goals instead of touchdowns. Maybe that's another reason they keep the game relatively closer. But offense, I think for the most part, is a really good game. Defense is another thing I'm confident about. Our defense is rolling. The Jets' offense is absolutely horrific outside of the outlier against the Bengals 2 weeks ago. Or, well, yeah, 2 weeks ago. So, or actually 3 weeks ago now. Jesus, that game was that 3 weeks ago? Yeah, that was. My God, that's insane. That was already 3 weeks ago. But yeah, outside of that outlier, and the Bengals defense, everyone looks like the greatest quarterback in NFL history against that horrific defense. What do the Jets like to do? Again, their offense is horrible, but what do they like to do? Run the ball. They cannot pass. Justin Fields, they really are having a difficult time passing it with him for the most part this season. I guess they were good against the Steelers week 1 too, but week 1, very different week from the rest of the year. But struggling to pass with Justin Fields, get the passing game going. Garrett Wilson's out on top of that. Obviously, that's not going to help things in their part. They like to run the shit out of the ball. Well, what do the Patriots excel at? Stopping the run. We're the top rush defense in football. Actually, I've been saying that for a while, but I think statistically it may be the Seahawks. It's one of us, but I'll say we're a top run defense, because that's a fact. We're a top run defense, so yeah, good run defense. Jets can't pass, at least consistently, and they like to run the ball, and we're the top or a top rush defense, so that favors us. So yeah, I'm pretty confident. I think we're going to take care of business, win comfortably. I think we'll cover the spread. I may bet the spread because we're favorites to the point the money line isn't going to pay out too much. So maybe I'll bet the spread. I like to avoid spreads that are this big. Usually, I'm pretty confident we'll cover it. So yeah, I'm gonna roll with us to win 31-13. I think we win comfortably. Good win. Hopefully a stress-free game coming off that Tampa game. Past couple games, been friggin' heart attack games to my team. So hopefully nice, relaxing, good win. Then we get a 10 mini bye, 10-day rest. Can watch football on Sunday. Well, not stress free, but relative, much less stress, much less stress. So yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll wrap this video up here. I feel like I was going to say something else. I'm sure as soon as I end this video, I'll remember, but that's okay. But I will wrap this video up here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, as I always say in these types of videos. If you have anyone in fantasy betting, I don't know who the hell you'd have on the Jets besides maybe Fields. Well, I guess Breece Hall. I get Garrett. I mean, obviously Garrett Wilson is going to be rostered in every league, but obviously he's out, so it's not going to be in lineups this game. And we see should it be. Who the hell else might you? Maybe you have Mason Taylor, the Jets tight end. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, good luck in fantasy if you have anyone. I have Henderson in 2 leagues, I think. So hopefully he does good. But yeah, if anyone in fantasy, good luck with that. Picks, good luck with that. Bets, good luck with that. But I will wrap this video up here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be on the lookout for the rest of my week 11 full video score predictions for the rest of the games that I'm not covering here. Be on the lookout for that. But I'll wrap this video up here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Take it easy, and as always, go Pats.